of 41. And then tomorrow, sunny with high near 68. That trend will continue through the week, warming up to around 76 eventually on Friday. It's 7:51.
We'll explain how the U.S. and its allies are locking Russia.
In 1.5 miles, take exit 45 toward Cleveland, I-69.
This morning report is supported by Progressive Insurance, offering rate comparisons on car insurance from multiple insurers. Rates and comparisons at progressive.com.
Good morning, you guys. It's 7:52 in the morning, and it's Monday. This is typically a Houston morning traffic. So we're not as bad as LA when it comes to traffic, but it does get a little too annoying. I kind of miss the good old COVID days when the road was all clear and nobody's driving, but very few cars. But now, since we're getting back to the normal, a little bit of normalcy, tend to be a little bit too chaotic. So people are driving a little nuts, and there are accidents here and there. I don't know, but I guess just count your blessings, you know. One way or the other, we'll get there. All right, thank you.
Take exit 45 toward Cleveland, I-69. Take exit 45. Continue for 3/4 of a mile.
Ukraine is calling for global digital currency platforms to block Russians out of cryptocurrency transactions. One exchange, Binance, said today it's not going as far as that, but will freeze accounts of Russian users specifically targeted by
1/4 mile, keep left at the fork to continue towards State Highway 288 South.
Financial advisors take an active, systematic approach to tax management. Learn about custom direct indexing solutions at customtothecore.com.
Russians are in lines at ATMs now to take out cash despite assurances from that country's central
Keep
bank.
left at the fork.
The financial system there remains sound. All of this after U.S., Europe, and other allies agreed to tough new sanctions to punish Russia for that invasion.
Continue for 3/4 mile.
Russian central bank's ability to cushion the blow. Now the cost of it's at 105. Well, right now, down 24%. Here's Marketplace's Nova Suffolk.
Yeah, David, we are hearing those reports of long lines at ATMs in Russia, people trying to withdraw money from their bank accounts. Certainly evidence that
Oh,
sanctions
no.
European countries, the U.S. and others
What
have
is it
agreed to
now?
impose are likely already having an effect. Aside from the SWIFT sanctions, there was also agreement that hobbled the Russian central bank's ability to counteract
Traffic
the
is
SWIFT
all the way to the other
sanctions.
side,
I spoke
too.
about that with Gerard DePippo. He's with the Center for Strategic and International Studies.
What they're basically trying to do is prevent the central bank from using its reserves effectively so that it basically cannot intervene into the foreign exchange market to defend the ruble. So the net effect is you're going to see a massive depreciation of the ruble, and it seems like we're already seeing bank runs in Russia.
Now, no, but Russia's economy is about the size of New York State's or Spain's, but still ranks in the top 20 globally. Is there any precedent for these kinds of sanctions imposed on an economy of the Russian scale?
Well, the closest one would be Iran, although it is a smaller economy. The U.S. and others imposed similar sanctions on Iran's banks. That's devastated the economy there. Now Russia's economy is much bigger. We don't have a parallel for how these sanctions might impact the rest of the world as well. So a lot of uncertainty out there, possibly ripples that could affect the global economy there.
And a big Russian bank operating across Europe is failing today. This is the assessment of Sberbank. According to Western European financial regulators, customers have lined up and banks don't hold them that money. It's a Marketplace Morning Report from APM, American Public Media.
Historical foundations.
In 600 feet, keep left at the fork. Follow signs for Texas 288 South, US 59 South. Keep left at the fork. Continue for 1 mile.
is in the capital, Kyiv, and he says Russian forces are still trying to storm the outskirts.
The fifth night of this invasion has seen more Russian shells fall in Ukrainian cities. From the center of Kyiv, there are sounds of explosions in the distance and more howls of air raid sirens. Alerts have been announced in 4 cities, including Dnipro and Kharkiv, after intense fighting there in the streets yesterday. In the north, Chernihiv was shelled all night too. An apartment building and nursery were hit. There's only been one reported injury. However, there are reports Belarus is prepared to send its own troops in. Its autocratic government also passed a vote which would allow Russia to base its nuclear weapons there.
The BBC's James Waterhouse reporting. The U.S. is issuing further penalties on Russia for its attack on Ukraine. The Treasury Department is banning all transactions with Russia's central bank. This move will make it impossible for Russia to use its $630 billion it's stashed in reserves to support the Russian currency. U.S. officials say this will impede Russia from paying for war costs. Britain has imposed sanctions on Russian banks, companies, and oligarchs over the attack on Ukraine. Willem Marks reports the British government will seek legislative approval for new laws to prevent wealthy foreign nationals from laundering money.
Britain's Prime Minister Boris Johnson says there's, quote, no place for dirty money in the United Kingdom. Overseas owners of British property will be required to identify themselves and no longer able to hide behind shell companies. Johnson says the new measures are designed to, quote, tear back the facade hiding those who support President Vladimir Putin. Campaigners have long demanded this kind of transparency, particularly at the most expensive end of the London property market. The new legislation, called the Economic Crime Bill, will mandate foreign homeowners to register with UK authorities and avoid using years to purchase new properties. Those who refuse to comply will have the same restrictions and could face imprisonment for up to 5 years. NPR News, I'm Willem Marks in London.
In the U.S., the first trial of a defendant charged in connection with the Capitol riot opens today in Washington. NPR's Kerry Johnson reports the Texas man faces 5 criminal charges.
Guy Reffitt has pleaded not guilty to obstruction, civil disorder, and entering the Capitol grounds with a firearm on January 6th. Authorities say he belongs to the 3%er militia movement. Reffitt will stand trial in the federal courthouse down the street from the Capitol. He's been held in federal custody since early last year. Prosecutors plan to call 2 of his children as witnesses in the case. He's the first of some 750 January 6 defendants to go to trial. 110 people have already been sentenced. Kerry Johnson, NPR News, Washington.
You're listening to NPR News.
Live from News 88.7 in Houston, I'm Matt Harrop. An agreement between Memorial Hermann Hospital and Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas expires today. RL Caroline Lump says if a new contract isn't reached between the two sides, thousands of people could be tossed out of network starting tomorrow.
The hospital and health insurance company started contract negotiations last summer. Memorial Hermann requested rate increases, which the insurance says are reasonable. But Memorial Hermann says the
In 600 feet, use the right 2 lanes to take the I-69, US 59 South exit toward Victoria.
House. If the hospital and insurance company don't reach an agreement, around 3,000 doctors
Use the right 2 lanes to take the I-69 exit.
would become out of network for patients with Blue Cross Blue Shield. I'm Caroline Love in Houston.
Tomorrow is election day for the Texas primaries. Grace Shabane,
Continue for 7 miles.
Women's Voters of Texas. She says if you still have a vote by mail ballot, there are several options. First, you can go to a polling place on election day, turn it in, and say you want to vote in person.
If you don't have it when you go to vote, you need to go to provisional ballot. Or you can try to get there by election day, or by 5 o'clock election day, by the United States Post Office, or drop it off at UPS, or FedEx. Get there by 5 o'clock the day after election day, and we still do vote.
For more information, visit votetexas.gov. We'll have all your election coverage right here on News 88.7 tomorrow and Wednesday. You'll also be able to keep track of election results on our website, HoustonPublicMedia.org. Again, Election Day is tomorrow. Today, Houston's Livestock Show and Rodeo is back for a 3-week run. As News 88.7's Jack Williams reports, one of the city's largest annual events returns after 2 years of pandemic-induced cancellations.
The Livestock Show and Rodeo lasted only 8 days before it was canceled in 2020 and was completely canceled in 2021. There are no restrictions on this year's event, including no mask requirements for visitors. President and CEO Chris
Ullman says he's confident things will be safe.
We've been watching March since about last November and December when Omicron was starting to peak, and all the projections were the same. Once we got here, we were going to be at a far, far better place, and we are.
The Livestock Show in Rodeo has installed updated air filtration systems in some of its indoor venues and is asking visitors to use common sense when it comes to their health. Ullman says the organization is still in good financial shape despite the time off and was still able to distribute scholarships to young participants last year and the year before. The Livestock Show in Rodeo continues to March 20th. I'm Jack Wilkins in Houston.
Stay tuned. Hear more of that interview with Chris Pullman coming up at 8:45 on News 88.7 In Depth.
mile, keep right to continue on exit 121C. Follow signs for West Park Drive. Keep right to continue on exit 121C. In a quarter mile, merge onto Southwest Freeway. Merge onto Southwest Freeway, then turn right onto West Park Drive. Take the next right onto West Park Drive, then turn right.